Oh my
Okay.
gosh. Oh my gosh. I'm really excited to watch this. This,
Wow.
this is so funny, bro. Okay, I'm recording. Oh my gosh. So me and Ray were just sort of watching this, because we thought it would be funny, and boy were we right. Let's just get right into this. This is gonna be a great time.
Yo.
We've only watched we haven't watched that much, so we'll tell you when we're past it. Let's just hop right into this.
If Jesus is the truth, why do so many people reject him? That's the question we're going to answer today.
Let's figure it out.
If Jesus is the truth, why do so many people reject him? We usually assume that
Why do so many people
something is
reject him?
true, that everybody
Yeah, we're
will
gonna find
believe
out.
it, but that's simply not the case. And it's not the case with Christianity. Why? Because Christianity is something that we just don't decide, like we decide on whether or not we believe in the existence of atoms.
So
Yeah.
okay, so this is where we stopped because that was a funny line. So I'm trying to okay. Upon rewatching it, what he said might not be that weird. So he thinks that Jesus is just the truth. But Christianity isn't. No, no, that doesn't make sense. I don't get what he's saying.
Jesus is the truth.
But it's not something we decide. Like we decide if we believe in the existence of atoms.
Uh, you know, the existence of atoms, you can just choose them.
Yeah, you can sort of decide. Or I don't know. Let's see what he's saying.
It is not a matter of sitting back, evaluating all the theories, and then deciding which one, best fits the facts. Now, I'm not gonna lie,
It would be
Christianity.
pretty hard to deny the existence of atoms.
Yeah. Does he not believe in atoms? I don't know what he's saying. Is he saying that atoms aren't real, or is he saying that we just sort of decide whether or not to believe it, and we don't have any proof? Um, it's just a belief.
Yeah.
I mean, science is all made up anyway.
I do notice religious people sometimes try to, like, bring atheists down to their level, like saying, they just don't want to give up their faith in atheism.
That's weird because atheism isn't exactly faith. It's actually not faith at all.
Yeah, it's not.
That's so weird. Because the difference is, whenever I debate myself a lot in my head. Whenever I have like a belief, I always try to argue, the opposite point and stuff in my head to try and, figure out which is true. And so I tried to do that with atheism and Christianity because I was, the idea was, like, well, how do I know I'm right? Because, if I don't think they're right and they don't think I'm right, how do we know, which is which? We're just the same. But we're not the same though, because one is based off of faith and then the other is based off of literally what we observe. And so it
Yeah,
seems
that's true.
much more sensible to me to base things off of what we observe rather than just like having faith. It's like I don't even get where does it come from? Like what are you talking about? Why? What reason do you have for having faith in it?
Yeah, that's right.
Is very challenging. If it's really true, this whole world will be turned upside down. The main reason why people
Oh my God, the Earth is gonna get flipped upside down. That's horrible.
Oh no.
Everyone will fall off.
Yeah, all the water will pour off.
Yeah, all the water will pour off, and then we'll die of thirst.
Yeah, that's right.
I'm not gonna lie, Christianity is very challenging. If it's really true,
Yeah, it's
this
very
whole
radical.
Yeah.
world will be turned upside down. The main reason why people reject Christianity is that Jesus is threatening. More threatening than any army or terrorist group out there. First,
What?
Jesus revealed
I don't know why he's comparing Jesus to a terrorist group.
Yeah,
Is
I'm
this a
not sure
joke?
either.
I always have to question if these are jokes. Is this a joke? It might be. I don't know. I don't know. Sleep is. I don't want to spoil anything. Okay, it's weird that he's comparing Jesus to a terrorist group, so I'm suspicious that this may be a joke. But he's
Yeah.
not talking about it like he is. Like he's not being as extreme as I would expect him to be. Like if this is a joke, he's a really good actor.
that God is extremely holy. Now, I like to think that I'm a nice guy. I dress
He identifies as a nice guy.
Yeah.
the right way, I speak the right way, I know how to do some of the things the right way. These things are
Yeah,
What?
some of the things.
He knows how to do some of the things the right way.
Yeah.
the right way. I know how to do some of the things the right
Why is he showing a video of someone like doing something with a light bulb? Is this something that he can do the right way?
Yeah, that's one of the things.
way. These things are important to me. I needed to have a good self-esteem and, build up that good image. But then I am confronted by Jesus' life teachings. He reveals that God is morally perfect and pure. Next to the source of standard of goodness, my veneer of goodness is stripped away. Jesus unmasks me, revealing that I'm not really the nice guy that I think I am. Under the light of Christ,
Oh.
What? What? What do you mean? He's like, you're like, well, see, I'm a nice guy, and he's like, well, no, you're not, idiot.
Yeah.
You're not a nice guy. Shut up.
That's right. Jesus unveils him.
Yeah. That's something I don't understand about. Oh my god, I don't get it, bro. I don't get it. Yet another thing I don't understand about Christianity is why the sin is passed down. Right? So Adam and Eve, they were like the original sinners. And then for some reason, because of what they did, now I'm like I have to do all this random garbage to get into heaven.
Apparently.
Like why am I full of sin? Because like I didn't do anything, bro. When exactly am I? When exactly do I sin? Is it right when I'm born? Is it when I'm conceived? Is it sometime after that? Like you can't tell me if I live my life absolutely perfectly from the moment I'm born that I'm still like have sin in me and I need to be reborn in Christ or whatever.
I see how
Yeah.
twisted my motivations are.
Oh,
My
what?
side of
Oh,
Christ, I see how
that's
twisted
him.
my motivations are.
He's motivated to be a terrifying black clown.
Yeah.
My self-centeredness and
Oh my god.
my hateful attitudes. Suddenly, I can no longer
So full of
see
hate.
myself as being good. Now, to
I don't know why
avoid
you had to emphasize black when you described it as terrifying.
well, no. It's not terrifying because it's black, but I just thought it was funny that he dreams of being a black clown. Um, considering he's Asian, I just think that's pretty funny.
Yeah.
this threat, I can either try to deny Christ and thus ignore the truth about God. It's that simple. By denying him, I can continue to play the game of pretending to be this wonderful person. I can continue to think that, if there is a God, that there's a heaven.
Okay, well, define good person.
I mean, yeah.
What does that mean? Doing things the right way? What does right mean? If you unscrew a light bulb the wrong way, are you not a good person anymore?
Yeah.
I
That's
certainly will make it, for I have done more good than wrong in my life. Certainly, I'm morally superior.
Yeah, what is good? Tell me what good is. He's not explaining things. I don't like when people don't
he is
explain
not.
the bare minimum of their of their their views.
Than any people around me. But because Jesus reveals how utterly holy God is, I am forced to realize that I'm a rebel against God, and that I don't really love people the way I should. And that is horribly threatening.
So you should love people. Why? All people?
Yeah.
Do you love? Are you supposed to love Hitler? I mean, he's a person. You can't deny that.
He is a
For a lot of
person. So I guess he's saying the reason people reject Jesus is because, they're afraid of being confronted with the hard truth that Jesus is superior to them.
Yeah. Yeah.
Second reason why people reject Christianity is that, Jesus reveals that God is all knowing. Every man will have to give account on the day of judgment for every careless word they've ever spoken in their lives. For by your words you will be acquitted, and by your words you will be condemned. The Bible also says that
Uh. Well, yeah. God is all knowing. Christian God is all knowing. So it's not necessarily on the day that you die, you'll be confronted with it. He just always knows. Like, he always knows, and he always knows everything you will do. So there's no point in being careful about anything you do, because God, like, what you do is actually already going to happen in Christianity.
Yeah.
God already
so,
knows literally everything that will happen.
Yeah, people reject Christianity because it's pretty dumb and oppressive. It's shocking, really.
Yeah, I literally just don't see the point.
Nothing in all creation is hidden from God. Everything is uncovered
Ooh,
and
God's sight.
Oh,
Yeah, take that.
laid bare before the eyes of him who we must give account. I believe that's in Hebrew chapter 4 or something. Could be wrong. Now that makes me really uncomfortable. There are certain parts of my life that I don't want anyone to know about. In fact, there are certain
Yeah.
closets in my life that even I do not want to look into. They are private. It is impolite for others to look into them. But Jesus confronts me with the fact that God can see everything in my life. He knows me inside and out. He sees my good points and he can also see my hypocrisy. And, these facts are tremendously intimidating for most people. We want to find a way to escape. We want to deny that someone is at the keyhole.
it seems like he's miserable. Like
Yeah, it doesn't seem like he's very
he
happy.
knows he's a bad. Yeah, he thinks he is a bad person. He now knows that God can see every action he takes, and he hates it.
Yep.
Looking in, we will pretend to see that nobody can see those dirty closets in our lives. We want to be in
Yeah.
control. Now, what most people do not see is that even though God sees all of these things, he wants to cover us. Now, Jesus bled and died on the cross to pay for the penalty for the wrongs that we have done. And if we turn to him, he will forgive us and cover our moral nakedness. He doesn't want to destroy us because we're dirty. Rather, he wants to clean us. People also reject
Okay, but
Christianity.
but whether or not we get clean, literally all of this, everything that will happen, God knows already.
Yeah.
Like, once again, there's no point. I don't get it. What is the point? What is the point of considering anything you do if what you do is already gonna happen?
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't make sense. At least in real life, like, the way that we don't have free will is just like we still have choice, but it's just like we can choose what we want. We just get, or no, sorry, we can do what we want, but we can't choose what we want. But in Christianity, it's just like why does it even matter? Why should I go through all this extra effort to make sure I get into heaven if whether or not to get to heaven is already going to happen? Like, someone is out there right now, and they already know whether or not I get in heaven.
Yeah.
Because Jesus reveals that God is just. He is the one who defines good and evil. If this God really exists...
Yeah, that's something else, too. Oh my gosh, that's something else. Sorry I keep pausing it, but man. Okay, so God defines what is good and evil. Okay, so that's really interesting. So, yeah, so that's something I was thinking about. Does God create does he, like, choose what is good and what is evil? Or is he just, like, good already? Like, because if he defines what is good and what is evil, and he also is all good, then at what point, like, those things can't, like, one of them had to come first, right?
Yeah.
Because for God would have to exist for him to first choose what is good and what is evil, and then after he chose what is good, he was then also all good, but he's always been all good. I don't know.
I'm not free to do whatever I please. But if there's no God, just like a famous philosopher once said, all things are permissible. But, if God exists, I cannot be wholly independent. Most people feel that freedom means we can do anything we want to. But this is not the type of freedom that Jesus Christ offers. He gives us freedom to live the way God intended us to live.
I see.
Yeah, we're completely free to do literally whatever this guy wants.
That's right.
Oh my god.
I think I made that point in
Yeah.
our other video
Yeah,
on
that was the entire joke of our like thumbnail and everything.
yeah.
You're using free will wrong.
Yeah.
Now, Adam, the first person, Adam, he felt that this
Yeah,
is not
I know who Adam is.
enough. And we do agree. So to be independent, we must ignore God or deny Him. We deny God so we can play as God of our lives. We want to define what is good and what's evil in our lives by ourselves. Back in college, I used to have a lot of, non-believer classmates. Now, these students preferred to sleep around and cheat during exams. They knew that accepting Jesus Christ would require a change of
Wait,
life.
what? They slept around during exams? Like he said sleep around and cheat. I thought like he said sleep around and then cheat. I thought he meant like cheat on their partner. But then he said during exams, so I don't know how that's related. Like
Did he say during exams?
yeah, during exams.
Sleep around. Oh, so like sleep around with people and like cheat on their exams during their exams?
Oh yeah, I guess so. Yeah, that's
Uh,
probably what I meant.
Lifestyle, and obviously they don't want to do that.
Oh, yeah, wait, what?
Would require a change of lifestyle, and obviously they don't want to do that.
Well, not really though. Like you can be a good person, you can be happy without religion. Like you can
Yeah.
do good things for yourself without being religious.
Yeah, that's true.
Like me and Ray take fantastic care of ourselves, bro. Literally.
Oh yeah.
Like we're both just in great shape. We have well-shapen breasts, a firm
We have
ass.
great dicks.
Yeah, fantastic long legs.
Yeah.
We've got broad shoulders and long ass fingers.
And long ass holes, not to mention.
Yeah, our toes literally are like 8 inches long,
Yeah.
and they're sharp, so we can like crawl up walls and stuff like a spider.
Right.
Yeah, we're starting a business known as our channel.
That's sort of what we call it.
I'm working on like a bunch of side projects. We got a bunch of side projects in the work. Okay, point is that went on for a little too long, but point is we take great care of ourselves and we're not religious. It is possible, believe it or not. Just do things
Yeah,
that are
it's
good for
shocking.
yourself, and just that's really all. That's all there is to it.
Yeah, why yeah. What he seems to think that just accepting religion and self-improvement are the same thing, and also the opposite of religion is just being dumb.
Yeah, like yeah. So he's saying people in his people who weren't religious in his class, they like would sleep around and, and cheat during exams. Um, and yeah, I mean, if they were religious, they probably wouldn't have done that because I do think a lot of religions have good you know good bases for how to like take care of yourself and stuff. But it's possible to do that without being religious. And I genuinely think that people who do that without being religious are much happier than people who are.
Definitely, because yeah, because in order to find happiness from the choices you've made, it needs to be a choice.
That's
It
right.
can't be something you were forced to do.
Exactly. Because in religion, and like basically every religion that I've heard of at least, or that I've researched, it's always like basically essentially out of fear. Like I literally have to do this, otherwise, like I have to deal with consequences that are just like so horrible. Like I just can't do that. And rather than just choosing it for your own sake, and not out of fear, you'll be so much happier.
I saw this random YouTube video about this student asking this pastor a question, or not really a question, but he made a bold claim. He said, the Bible is ancient mythology. So the pastor said, have you read it? And then he said, no. Then the pastor said,
I have, and he's right.
Read the books of
Yeah.
Isaiah and Matthew in the New Testament and tell me if they are ancient mythology. Funny, because the next day, the guy came back and he said, I read Isaiah and Matthew. It's interesting literature. I think it speaks the truth. And the pastor said, that's great. Are you ready to trust Christ for eternal life? Then he said, no way, man. I have a very active sex life.
What? What?
Ah,
That was his reasoning? Why? Oh my god, of all reasons, that's probably the stupidest thing in the world. No, man.
wow.
I have an active sex life. I can't give that shit up. The fuck you talking
Yeah.
about? Wow. What a loser.
If I want to accept Christ, then that has to change. I don't want anyone to change that part of me. See, God is not sending people to hell. People are ordering God out of their lives. Now, God will get out of their lives for eternity, and obviously, that would be hell. Now, the fourth reason why a lot of people reject Jesus.
Right, but in hell you're also burning forever.
That's true.
I can't see how an all good God would let that happen to someone.
Yeah, it's
If
not
he-
very kind of him.
If human life comes above all other life, then why would he let human lives or human like souls burn forever? That is literally the most painful. Like the most painful way to die is just burning to death. So imagine that forever. Like I just cannot ever see a way that someone who lets that happen knowingly, he's all knowing, remember, and all powerful, he could stop it, and he's all good. So I don't understand why he doesn't. I just can't see why he would let that happen.
Jesus is that he reveals that God is all powerful. If I think that, God is wrong or a threat to my self-sufficiency, how can I argue with him? How can I fight him? It's just better to, simply ignore him. Now, there are other reasons as to why people reject Christ. Some people think that Christ cannot keep his promises, that he cannot be trusted. We live in a world where most relationships are superficial, sadly. We live in a society where commitment and trust are now considered dirty words. Like suspicion,
Really?
cynicism, skepticism are the new virtues in life now. People say, don't trust anyone because people today are not trustworthy. After we have been burned by broken commitments and smashed promises, we find that we are unable to rely on other people. In front
Yeah, that's true. That's like the big cause of just like radical just extremism is because of that. Especially like all the two that I'm thinking of is like radical feminism and men going their own way. They're both like for some reason people seem to divide things in the incorrect way. Like if you take like men and women for example, like men's rights and women's rights, it's people or not all people, but dumb people view it as men versus women rather than just good people versus bad people. Right? That would be that makes much more sense to divide it that way than in the other way, because then you're just hurting good people, which and then that's their experience of your side, and then they're like, oh man, so everyone on that side is bad, and then they become a bad person, and they hurt other people who become more bad people. It's just like an infinite cycle of hate, bros. It sucks.
Yeah.
by Jesus Christ, we are naturally skeptical about it. The question, will Christ keep his promises, plagues us. But the evidence of his perfect teachings, sacrificial death, and his historical resurrection proves that Jesus Christ is trustworthy. He's basically saying to us, trust me and see if I let you down. Another reason is that people fear that they will not be able to live for Christ. I cannot live up to his high standard of morality. I cannot keep my promise. Or I feel like I'm being a hypocrite. Things like
Yeah, well, correct morality sort of comes naturally. If you're having a hard time following that, then it's probably not the right morality.
Uh-huh.
that you hear all the time. Now, this is true, by the way. There's no way that you or I could live up to that standard. But the good news is that Christianity is not merely following a set of rules. Real Christianity is a personal love relationship with the living Lord, Jesus Christ.
Yeah,
But
I've heard that
Jesus
before.
Christ doesn't call people into this self-help program. He does not command people to pull up their own bootstraps and simply try harder. Rather, Jesus Christ calls us to humble ourselves before God and to trust God for forgiveness and for heaven, and to be willing or to allow God to take up residence within us. And that is through the Holy Spirit. And through the Holy Spirit, it gives us the moral power to become the people that Christ wants us to be. Now, we're not really talking about religion here. We're talking about a personal relationship with God. Jesus said, "Here I am."
What? We are talking about religion.
Yeah, we are.
That's
Also,
what this
did
is.
he say, Jesus doesn't want to put you on a self-help program? Isn't that like, what he's advertising? Well, no, it seems like, yeah.
Yeah.
Stand on the door and knock. If anyone hears my voice and opens the door, I will go in and eat with him and he with me. Jesus Christ wants to enter into a relationship with us. He waits for us to humbly respond to him.
Okay.
It seems like what he thinks will make people happy is like sleeping around, cheating during exams and stuff. So I guess that's why he says Jesus isn't offering a self-help program. He's just offering us a thing we can't live up to.
Weird.
Uh,
Yeah, I don't know.
yeah.
Um.
Yeah. Okay, so like he has to. He's bringing everything down to his level, like what he did with the atoms. You can choose whether or not you believe in atoms. He just
Yeah.
says that so that he makes everything seem arbitrary, so it's not just God that people accept by faith. So that way he can say that the only reason they don't accept it is because uh they don't want to live up to Jesus's standards.
Yeah. Um. Yeah. I mean, it's sort of like you know, people like very, very early humans would, observe constellations and pick out shapes and stuff and make a story out of them. And people would sort of just believe that that was the truth. They would invent all these gods and stuff like that. And I mean, Christianity is basically that's gone on like way too long. Like I'm shocked that people are still like that's still a thing. With how advanced we are as a society, how is like any religion still like existing? Especially in like the US.
Yeah,
It just I don't really get it. This was not the best argument I've heard. It was actually like pretty bad. If anyone's watching this who's Christian, please like come on our channel. It'd be fun.
yeah. Send us an email.
Yeah, send us an email. Send us your email, and if you're far from weak, then we can have a cool debate, a respectful debate. Like I feel like a lot of people are way too obsessed with just like disagreeing with the other side rather than having an actual, dialogue.
Yeah.
It's pretty dumb. But if you want to have a dialogue with us, then go ahead and you know try to get in contact with us. We'll bring you on the channel. It'll be fun. Anyway, I guess that's about it for this video.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye.